Every good craftsman, whether they are a DIY homeowner or a soon-to-be professional painter, needs a really good professional toolbox. And on this video today, we're going to discuss what you need to start your painting project in your toolbox. This is Dan Frost, H.D.F. Painting, the fine art of painting, and this is Top Shot with Frost. So the first thing you need a toolbox. You can use anything from, a Craftsman, toolbox you get at like a Home Depot or Lowe's, or you can get a real specialty toolbox like this one we have from Festool. We'll be using this, and as I show you the products, we'll be putting in our toolbox. Something that is, you can carry around with you. Sherwin-Williams makes a backpack sort of toolbox for painters. So there's a couple different choices. Okay, the first tool we're going to go over is probably the most important tool you can have in your toolbox. And that's what's commonly known as a 5-in-1 blade. This is a Hyde blade, okay? And this you can use for multiple purposes. A lot of times you use it to scrape, which is really effective. They have points on it to dig out cracks in ceilings and walls. They have an area here you can open up a paint can. You have two different circles, semicircles here to clean out roller sleeves, okay? And what a really neat feature here is you can take off the back handle, and you have right here, you have a nail set. When you come to a nail that needs to be setting before you fill it, you can just use this. Also within this cavity here are two different heads for screwdriver, all right? And what you can do, you have a flat and you have a Phillips, and you can take this off here, put it in there, and use it as a screwdriver. So it's a really effective tool. The 5-in-1 tool by Hyde is probably one of your best tools in your toolbox. So the second tool I'm going to go over sort of is a progression of when you start painting. The first thing you want to do is do the prep. So you have a 5-in-1 blade you can use to scrape things. Another tool you'll need in terms of scraping is the Bahco scraper. And this is a scraper right here, okay? And it comes with a little holder you can put around your belt. And it's got a triangle blade that's, fairly sharp. And this is really good for scraping paint and caulking and things of that sort. This is an effective tool, interior or exterior, okay? So this Bahco scraper is really good. They have larger blades too, but start out with this blade, you'll be all set. The next tool we're gonna go over is an array of spackle knives, okay? When you're doing your prep and painting, you'll need a spackle knife to put down a joint compound or any wood patching, okay? You wanna have a small, flexible, 1/2 inch, 1 inch Hyde blade. See how it's pretty flexible? You can use this to fill nail holes. You can use this also to do glazing windows on the exterior. It's very flexible and it's a very good blade, okay? The other you want to use, you have a 6-inch, and most of these tools we're going to go over are made by Hyde. There are other products, but we like the Hyde tools. We have a 6-inch blade here. We have a 10-inch blade here, and we have a big, wider 12-inch blade here, and that's for using it for joint compound. Okay, on probably all your paint jobs, you're going to be doing some caulking, all right? So you need a good caulking gun. We use the Dripless ETS 1100. It's distinguished by the yellow cartridge on it, and it's has a little item here that you can use to puncture the caulking if it has dried up, and it works really well, and it's a dripless caulking gun. So that's what I would definitely recommend. It's always good to have a hammer in your toolbox, okay? You can use a hammer for setting nails as I showed you, and you can use it to take out old nails and things of that sort on the outside, but it's always good to have a hammer. Now when it comes to brushes, there are a variety of known brushes out there. There's Putty brushes, there's Wooster brushes. We really like the Corona brushes. And for interior work, it's good to have a 2.5 inch, a 2 inch, and a 1.5 inch, okay? So, and we like the angle brushes. This is a Corona Cortez brush, and it's a nylon brush. You can use it with oil, or you can use it with latex. Most of the products we use now are the waterborne latexes, and this is a really good brush. If you need a little smaller brush for cutting in, we use a 2 inch. And for window sash, we use the 1.5 inch. So you can't go wrong with the Corona brushes. So you've done all your brush work, you cut in, you're ready to roll. Now you need equipment for rolling the ceilings or walls, all right? Sometimes you can even roll trim work, we'll show you that. But we really like the 9-inch roller handle by Wooster. It's a green handle, okay? Sometimes you can get an 18-inch roller, but that's a little cumbersome for homeowners. So I would suggest going with a 9-inch roller, okay? Now, sometimes you can roll out flatter trim areas with a smaller roller frame and a little 6-inch roller sleeve. We like the Whizz handle. It also there's also other handles, but the thing to note about this is that it has a skinny little handle right there, and you have to match it up with their roller sleeve. Okay. So those are 2 roller handles that I would recommend you have in your toolbox. Okay, so you're ready to go and you want to put your paint into a bucket. All right, we have a nice little setup here. We have the Handy Pro Pail, all right, by Handy. It fits into your hand really nice like that. You can use your roller, small roller, inside that. You can also use it with a brush. Here's a pretty brush, and if you get a Sureline magnetic clip, you can put that in the bucket and then put your brush right like that so it doesn't go too far into your paint and it stays nice and wet on the tip of your brush. Now, a couple other items you might want to have in your toolbox when you start. You might want to put a couple rags. We have a rag here, white rag here. Those are always good to put in your box. Gloves, you might want to put some gloves in there, okay? You might want to put a roll of tape, all right? You might want to put a clip to hold your bucket, all right? You might want to put a couple throwaway brushes for if you're going to do some bin work or some staining or some samples. Quick throwaway brushes are good. And you might want to put a rack in for a bucket to roll off your thin roller, your small mini roller. That might be helpful. And it's always good to put a little drop cloth in there, okay? One other item you might put in there is a respirator. We're going to go over that on another video, but a respirator would be really effective, or a mask when you're sanding and things of that sort. I hope you enjoyed this video on Painter's Toolbox, and if you did, please hit the subscribe button. Also, if you have any comments about it, at the end you can add to that. This is Dan Frost from H.D.F Painting, the fine art of painting, and this is Tuck Shop with Frost.